Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will serve you the tea. You know what time it is? Welcome to Chronicle Speaks. So the divorce between Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker just took a sharp left turn. We've officially gotten Todd's full answer and counterclaim filed in Fulton County, and let me tell you, this man is not responding lightly. This document shows us that things between Kandi and Todd are far more complicated than we thought, and this divorce may be headed straight into serious litigation.
You cut me deep.
Now, your boy Todd has turned into Edward Scissorhands when it comes to cutting Kandi deep. In his new filing, he is slicing through every assumption we had about this divorce. Todd is now asking for full custody of their 2 children, and on top of that, he's claiming that he signed the prenuptial agreement under duress, meaning he now wants to challenge it and potentially wipe the whole thing off the table. We are going to break this story down and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So Todd Tucker is coming at Kandi with blades sharpened, and the tone of this divorce has officially shifted. What started off looking like a calm, quiet separation has quickly turned into a strategic, high-stakes battle where Todd is making it very clear he's fighting for custody, for money, for assets, and for control of the narrative. So for the past week or so that we've known about this divorce, everyone assumed that it would be quiet, it would be clean. Both sides were playing it cool publicly, no drama, no mess, no accusations. But with this new court filing from Todd Tucker, the tone has changed entirely. Todd isn't just responding, he is counterattacking, and he's doing it through one of the strongest family law firms in Atlanta. He's being represented by attorney Randy Kessler. We've seen him on The Housewives before, represent Porsha in both of her divorce cases, and also Nene Leakes. Kessler is also the same attorney who originally advised Todd not to sign the prenup unless his attorney could review it first and be there with him.
I decided to sign a prenup against my lawyer's advice. In the end, I know all this legal stuff is not going to keep me from being with Kandi.
So now, years later, Todd is basically saying, hold up, I signed this under pressure and I didn't have my lawyer, I didn't have proper representation, and I'm challenging the entire thing. With his new filing, Todd isn't just questioning the prenup, he's attacking its very foundation. He's claiming the circumstances surrounding it were rushed, unfair, and possibly coercive. When a prenup is handed to someone on the day of their wedding, courts raise an eyebrow, and Todd is leaning into that angle hard. Let's get into it. Mr. T. Jermaine Tucker, also known as husband, and petitioner Kaylanese Tucker, known as wife, were married on April 4th, 2014. Now, on that same day, a purported prenuptial agreement prepared by wife's attorney was presented to husband without husband having counsel, even though wife's then counsel had communicated previously with the undersigned regarding a potential prenuptial agreement. The minor children are currently in husband's care and residing with him in Georgia, while wife's out-of-state work obligations have required and will continue to require her to be away from the children for at least the next several months. The parties have been working cooperatively in an effort to resolve all issues, and husband remains committed to continuing those discussions in good faith. However, in the hopefully unlikely event the parties are unable to reach a full agreement, husband shows that he will seek an award of primary physical custody, joint legal custody, and final decision-making authority, with wife having substantial time and meaningful access to the children. Husband wishes to make clear that he recognizes wife as a loving and capable parent and remains sincerely hopeful that prior and continued discussions between the parties will bring full resolution of all matters. So child support is based on physical custody, not legal custody. So even if both parties share legal custody, that does not affect child support. So with Todd requesting primary physical custody, that means that the children will live with him most of the time, and that means that he would be responsible for the majority of the day-to-day costs like food, clothes, transportation, activities, school routines, childcare, what have you. So the other parent, in this case Kandi, would typically pay child support to the parent with primary custody, meaning Todd. So let's read this bottom line here. I told y'all Randy Kessler does not play. So it says, first defense, husband affirmatively shows that petitioner's petition for divorce, which is the petition, is procedurally deficient under OCGA Section 19-5-5. Specifically, petitioner failed to 1. Verify the petition as required by subsection A. So this is Kandi's initial petition, and they're saying that Kandi did not sign the divorce paperwork, and legally, you must sign that paperwork under oath, swearing that everything you wrote is true. Basically saying, I'm not lying, I'm not making anything up, I swear this information is correct. Kandi did not do that. Now, I believe the reason why Kandi did not do that, Kandi is very quiet when she is not being paid to tell her business. This is under K. Lenese Tucker. Not Kandi, not Todd. She did not want this easily found. Not only that, she said that they got married in April 2014. She didn't give an exact date, which also must be done when you're filing for a divorce. This is another thing Todd is clocking her on. Todd continues by saying, number 2, she didn't state the residence or last known address of respondent, meaning Todd, as required by subsection B1. So in her petition, this last paragraph, she said respondent is a resident of Fulton County, Georgia, and is subject to the venue and jurisdiction of this court, but she did not place his address, and legally he's saying she should have. Todd continues by saying she did not provide the name and age of each minor child as required by subsection B4. So in her petition, she shows here on the first line that there are 2 minor children born as issue of the marriage between the parties. She did not mention their names or their age. According to Todd, she should have. Todd continues by saying husband reserves all rights to challenge the sufficiency of the petition based upon these statutory deficiencies. So in other words, Todd is questioning whether the paperwork is legally valid. In plain English, there are mistakes, is missing information, required legal parts weren't included, the petition wasn't filled out correctly, it doesn't follow Georgia law, and in turn, he may ask the court to reject it, make her refile it, delay the case, or use it as leverage. Okay, so going back to Kandi's original petition, she wanted to be awarded a total divorce. She said that the summons and process be issued as required by law, that the petitioner is awarded joint physical custody of the parties' minor children, that the petitioner is awarded joint legal custody of the minor children, and that the parties' child support obligations be determined by the child support guidelines of the state of Georgia. The prenuptial agreement is enforced on behalf of the petitioner and the respondent, and the petitioner is granted any such other and further relief as the court deems equitable and appropriate. So in Todd's counterclaim, he's stating that both he and Kandi are residents of Fulton County, Georgia, and they have been residents for at least 6 months prior to the date of the filing of this counterclaim. He goes on to state that the parties were lawfully married on or about April 4th, 2014, and are currently living in a bona fide state of separation. There are 2 minor children born as issue of this marriage, to wit, A. Tucker, a male child born 2016, and B. Tucker, a female child born in 2019, hereinafter known as minor children. Husband shows that he should be awarded temporary and permanent legal custody of the parties' children, as well as final decision-making authority. Husband shows that he should be awarded temporary and permanent primary physical custody of the children. In the event the parties are unable to resolve all issues privately, the court should determine all matters related to the minor children in accordance with OCGA Section 19-9-3 and 19-6-15. So just to skip around a little bit, Todd is wanting a total divorce. He's saying again that the marriage is irretrievably broken and there are no prospects for reconciliation. Husband is further entitled to a total divorce or a divorce of vernacular matrimony, while husband remains hopeful that the parties can resolve all issues amicably and privately. Husband expressly reserves the right to assert and add additional grounds for divorce as permitted by law. Husband shows that the parties signed a prenuptial agreement dated April 4th, 2014, immediately prior to the wedding ceremony. Petitioner's counsel at that time was fully aware that husband was represented by the undersigned and had been actively communicating with his attorney regarding the terms of the potential prenuptial agreement. Despite that knowledge, petitioner's counsel presented the final agreement to husband for signature immediately before the wedding ceremony without any notice to or consultation with the undersigned counsel, who had been significantly engaged in the negotiation process. These circumstances raise substantial questions concerning the enforceability of said document. Nevertheless, husband remains committed to working in good faith to resolve this matter amicably and privately to the extent possible. During the course of the marriage, the parties have acquired various assets known and unknown to husband, tangible and intangible. Husband should be awarded an equitable division of all marital assets, both real and personal, tangible and intangible, between both parties. Husband shows the court that he should be awarded his separate property and any appreciation thereon. Husband shows that the parties have acquired debt throughout the course of the marriage. Husband requests that such debt be equitably divided. Next part is pretty procedural, basically saying, you know what, don't destroy any evidence, don't move any money around, don't take any properties out of your name and put it in your mama's name, what have you. Todd is trying to make sure that he is protected until this is over with. So everything else is pretty much repeating what we've already gone over, but let's skip to letter G. It says that husband be entitled to all additional relief, including alimony and child support, in the event that the prenuptial agreement is not enforced.
You know,
So you think you should get some money?
Come on, listen to me. I don't want your fucking money, man. Damn, that's all y'all think about is money. You, your mama, all y'all.
Well, why does he have attitude?
I got my, and I got people that they get back to me.
Everybody's looking
I
at
know
me.
they looking at you.
As they should.
You are from New York, so you know y'all know y'all said.
We need to talk.
Okay.
It's so crazy that we're here at this point. I really want to marry you. I just want us to fix this so we can move forward.
Well, I do too.
There was just 2 other points that I asked you if you can change them. And that was it. It was the 30-day thing, and then the rest of it about if I die, all the will type stuff.
So if we just fix those 2 issues, are we good?
Let's just fix those issues, and I'm good to sign. So call your lawyer. Straighten it out, okay?
It's my money, and I need it now!
Now here's where things get even crazier, because when you look at who Kandi hired, it raises a few eyebrows. Kandi retained attorney Adama McKinnon, and while she does have experience in family law, including representing Phaedra Parks during her divorce from Apollo, here's the twist. Before opening her own practice, Adama actually worked as a law clerk under the supervision of none other than Randy Kessler. Yes, the same Randy Kessler who is now representing Todd. So the woman representing Kandi trained under the man fighting against her. And listen, that doesn't automatically mean that she's not competent, but when you look at the mistakes showing up in Kandi's petition, it does raise some concerns. Because let's be honest, leaving out mandatory information, forgetting to verify the petition, and filing something that isn't legally compliant is a rookie mistake. That's not the type of slip you expect in a high asset, high profile divorce. Not when we're talking about millions at stake, children, a prenup challenge, a husband represented by one of the most seasoned family law attorneys in Atlanta. Now, Kandi has way too much money, way too much business on the line, and too much visibility to be playing these types of games with her legal paperwork, especially when Todd has Randy Kessler, a literal heavyweight in Georgia family law, showing up polished, precise, and ready for battle. It almost feels like one side came fully armored and the other side didn't expect this to turn into a full-blown legal war. Kandi, you in danger, girl. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything currently going on in the world of Kandi and Todd? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching, but before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any of my new episodes.